to start, a month ago, I was really preparing to die. I had 3 years of hell with this disease or condition that I have called trigeminal neuralgia, and it gives you electrical charges. So if one could imagine, I like to say what trigeminal neuralgia is like is taking a ice pick, an electrified ice pick, and sticking it in your ear into the middle of your brain. It debilitated my life. I could not think, I could not write, I could not read. My vision was distorted. I couldn't do normal things that we do every day to live well.
For 2.5 years, we didn't know what was wrong with Wendy. She'd have these episodes, these headaches. We thought they were just headaches. She'd try all kinds of things to take the pain away. Eventually the pain would get so bad, we'd go to the emergency room.
And this is horrific for me because I'm a professor, I'm a teacher, I'm a relationship coach. I work with people all the time, and to me the worst ever pain in the world would be that I can't talk to people. I can't relate. It's my whole work in the world, and it was totally gone.
But it was a long time. We didn't know what it was. The first time it happened was in Hawaii, Kauai. And it was the first time I've ever heard a doctor say, I actually don't know what's wrong with you.
You know, that the way that I couldn't do life, so everyone had to do it for me. So this venture of this trigeminal neuralgia was like the trip to a living hell. Or I'd like to say the living dead. It was like I had a body, but I couldn't do anything with it because anything I did, chew, talk, move, exercise, too many bright lights or sound problems, too loud, would send the pain, and it would aggravate the pain. So it got worse when I tried to do daily living activities. Just getting dressed was a huge affair because the longer I did things, the more the pain would get. So I'm expressing the very horrific nature of this suicide condition.
First has an episode. She would take the pain for about 4 or 5 days, and she would be able to handle it, even though it was painful. Then after that, it just would seem to get to her, and that's when she would start to figure out how to drug herself so heavily with painkillers, with mostly the painkillers they would give her that we knew weren't going to touch the nerve pain, but at least it would knock her out so that she didn't have to feel this pain.
I got home, I started to go to every practitioner I could, neurologists. I went through probably everything neurology in Albuquerque, New Mexico, to try to find what this was.
To the fifth, sixth day, she would just try to lay in the bedroom with the lights very dark, all the drapes down, and she would try to not move and not do anything. So it literally was like she was just a zombie in the bed.
November 4th, I'll never forget that day, November 4th, 2016. I was back in the ER with the pain, with the getting ready to get their cocktail. And I said, I need you to go get my doctor house. If you have a doctor house, somebody needs to, you're treating me for things that are not right. They put me through every kind of MRI, CAT scan. I have had every kind of test, been poked, prodded, and every kind of, they give, and then the migraine drugs, which did nothing for me. And so I'm in the ER, and I tell them to go get the doctor house. I said, I don't want you to give me any tests till I talk to your doctor house. And they says, who's that? And I explained who Dr. House is. I want the doctor who wants to get to the bottom of this with me and is willing to walk with me to find the solution.
Living with this condition that you never know when it's going to hit, how intense it's going to be, or how long it's going to last, makes your life totally uncertain.
And so she left the room, came back with my Dr. House. He walked into the room, he says, ma'am, we're not going to put you through. He had looked at my medical records. Isn't that fascinating? And he saw all the tests I'd done and failed. And he came into the room and he told my partner, he said, I want you to go on your smartphone and look up trigeminal neuralgia. She did, and she looked at the condition and the symptomology of it. She starts crying. She says, she just, I found the name. We have a name. This is it. And I start crying. We're both crying. You know, there's something about when you know you have a name for it that you could actually address it. So then we spent the last year looking at trigeminal neuralgia, what I could do. My neurologist and then my primary care doctor said, you need to go to Mayo.
So in one sense, we were totally relieved that there was a name for it. But then on the other hand, going, you know, starting to read about it and realizing lots of people have this, but it's very painful. It's the most painful condition known to man. They're not sure if there's any kind of cure for it.
Gift of Mayo is they know the pain of trigeminal neuralgia is real and how awful it is. And so they do have some surgical techniques they can do to help alleviate pain for periods of time. And so I went for it. And they went into my head, and thank God they did. It didn't solve my trigeminal neuralgia because, sorry to report, my pain returned on November 18th. This was 2 months after the surgery. And so, as you can imagine, when the pain was back, when it came back that day, I'll never forget November 18th. I was, because that was my last hope. That was my last hope. So all I was left with is I'm gonna die. The only way I can is just choose to stop eating and drinking.
That the disease, day by day, was just sucking the life out of her. And so, you know, we both know we respect each other's decisions there. So I had to respect her decision, even though it felt devastating, knowing that the disease was winning too.
So I got ready to do that, and I filmed the film for my family so they could hear from me why I chose and what I've gone through. Told them the story similar to what we're doing now, so they would understand why I could no longer be on the planet, because this is not worth living this way. No one should have to live this way.
You know, beyond sad and devastated. And I understood because I'd seen her go deteriorate, and really all she was doing was laying in a dark bedroom trying not to move so that the pain wouldn't come.
I was at a total loss, and then I started to prepare to die. I'm just gonna die. I can't live this way. When my friend Mary insisted, you have to talk to my friend Maya, and you have to go see Dr. Howe, and one more thing of hope, maybe. Okay, I'm still living. So I went, and I just trusted, you know, needles weren't fun. I was like, okay, you're gonna put needles in my head. You know, traditional acupuncture hasn't worked for me. So I'm gonna do it again. I just gotta believe, because I had to believe Maya, because Maya had been healed in doing this work, right? So I said, okay, Maya got healed, I could get healed too. And so, rate of hope, I go in, and well, story's over, in my opinion. I had 1 week, first treatment, 2 days, pain-free. If you've been in pain like that, a pain-free day, it was like going to heaven. I mean, it was like paradise. I still couldn't do my work that first week, but I didn't have the pain for 2 days. So I got 2 days. The next week, I got 5 days. And the next week, no pain. How does that happen?
And I'll never forget sitting in my hotel room, listening to Wendy, and with the first hello, I heard life back in that voice, and it, you know, it hit me. And at the same time I thought, wow, can this be this fast? Can this work this well? Just one treatment?
So I am so appreciative of the house and their determination to bless as many people as they can with this healing, to take it all over the world, to get practitioners trained all over the world, to give the hope that I now have. I still have some of the PTSD, and we're continuing to do treatments to work on that because I've been shocked for 3 years. So there's the tendency to not believe that this will last. And sometimes, so I'm walking into the believing of, yes, this can be my everyday again, but I can only do it because of the house. I can only do it. So they're like angels to me.
I think just before she went to the Mayo Clinic, and then I saw her a few months after she came back from the Mayo Clinic, and we talked for a while. We were in the same meeting, and I asked her how it was, and she was a little hesitant. She said, so far okay, because the pain had not come back yet.
I have great friends who care about me, and so my friend Mary heard that I was getting ready to choose not to eat or drink over all this and the pain I'd been through, and she'd been walking with me through this for 3 years. But she had a good friend, Maya Sutton, who edited Dr. Howe's book.
I feel when I found that she wanted to end her life, that's when I stepped in, because it was no longer okay to just keep saying to our mutual friend, try to get her to acupuncture, try to get her to Dr. Howe, try to get her to try acupuncture.
You've got to talk to Maya. And then Maya talked to me about Dr. Howe, and she says, you've got to go and you've got to get in there. And so thank God for Maya. She got me in. In 2 days, I was in Dr. Howe's office. And wow.
She has to go see Dr. Howe because she's already tried the brain surgery, and it didn't, a little bit worked, but it didn't stop the pain. And I said, I've had 3 nerve conditions that Dr. Howe has straightened out, stopped, improved. I'm free of that pain now. She needs to go see Dr. Howe.
And I tried traditional acupuncture 3 times to try to deal with this, and it didn't shake a thing. It didn't do a thing. So when Maya says go to another acupuncturist, although now I know the difference between traditional acupuncture and scalp or neuroacupuncture, very, very different. My understanding now. And but he put those needles in my head in 30 minutes. I was at a level 9-10 pain, came down to 1 to 2 in 30 minutes. Now for me, after I've told, if I tell you what I've been through in pain and all the pain I was living in, to have that happen to me in just 30 minutes, I was healed. I was having a healing. I was being made whole, and I never thought I'd live again. And that's how bad that was. I was ready to die.
And finally I said, she has to go to Dr. Howe and use my name, get in as fast as you can. And she did have her first appointment. And I think for the first 30 minutes, she was pain-free, and she had pain every 20 seconds. So she already could see that it was working.
So I don't know how to express my gratitude for the gift of neuro-scalp acupuncture and the Howes. I call them the heart of Howe, the heart of these incredible doctors who see the pain and they know how to relieve it and make us whole. Make us whole. And so we can be our best in life, and I can be my best in life now because of them. And so I'm filled with gratitude and total appreciation.